All right, welcome into another edition of the 2023 MLB Draft Show. This is the Velocity edition. Charlee Soto, Kissimmee, Florida, Central Florida commit. Charlie, welcome, man. How you doing?
Good, good. Thank you guys for having me on the show. Definitely excited.
Absolutely. Hey, man, we've been excited to have you. We never turned down a chance to talk a little velo. So let's just let's kick things off, man. Charlee Soto, talk to the viewers, talk to the listeners, what you're all about on the mound, how you like to carry yourself on the bump, and then a little bit about you off the field, passions, hobbies, what you like to do to kill your time.
Yeah, so on the mound, I kind of like to be aggressive up there, getting the hitter's hands, throw all my pitches for strikes. I'm just up there dominating basically. I like having confidence on the mound, and then off the field, I'm a pretty chill guy. I don't like doing much. I'll go to the movies every once in a while. I'll go to the arcade, but I don't really do much off the field. But I'm a good guy, I'll tell you that.
That's a good answer. I like that. Good guy. Well, let's talk about your summer, right? So you come out, you throw absolute fire up to 98, 99. Nobody really expected it. Not this early. You're such a young prospect for this class. You're going to be 17 at the draft. What was the summer like for you, man? How do you think it went, and how do you think you performed?
It was really exciting, playing with the best players in the country. I think I performed, really well. At PDP, at East Coast Pro, obviously, probably had the best outing I had all summer. So it was definitely exciting, just to be out there with all the competition and just show them what I got, basically.
I love it. Hey, you wouldn't happen to have a baseball on you, would you?
I do. I actually got one right here.
You know what we're gonna do, baby. Let's see the arsenal. Let's see the pitch grips. I want to see how you dominate.
This is my 14 fastball right here. This is what I dominate with the whole summer. This was it. Here's a changeup right here. Generic two-seam changeup. And then I got my slider right here. Got a little spike to it.
3-pitch mix. All of them have flashed above average or better. Let's talk about that first pitch, that four-seamer. I want to talk about the last 2 years for you because the velo ticked up. This year, flirting with triple digits. Yeah. What's that been like for a guy like you? Is it difficult to pull back the reins and say, all right, I don't want to throw my arm out, but this is pretty hot?
Yeah, growing up, I was always kind of the flamethrower on the team, but then last summer, I kind of fell a little bit behind. Last summer, I was probably 88, 89 maybe, and I seen some guys in my class, 94, 95, and I was like, I want to be up there with them. So, I got in that weight room. I put all the work in, last December around this time, got it up to 96, and that's where I really got a name for myself. So, after that, I realized that I was a flamethrower, and it just came, and it was just a blessing.
And that's all right around the time that you turned 16 years old, 17 years old. So it's really come on pretty quick. How about the other two pitches? How much time have you put in the training and development process of making sure that slider stays sharp and making sure that changeup, which changeup might be your best pitch right now, has that darting action?
Yeah. So the changeup, I kind of every time I go out to throw, I kind of play with it and catch play, tossing it. That's probably why it's been so good for me. And then the sliders definitely developed a little since the summer. I changed the grip on it a little bit. I used to throw it kind of right here, but I had no grip on my thumb right here, so I decided to change it to have the grip right here. And it's developed a lot. But I've been throwing those two pitches my whole life, and they've been two big pitches for me. But the changeup probably has done the biggest development, and it's going really good.
I like it. So what does this winter look like for you, man? Because obviously you're in Florida. You're going to start up a little bit sooner than the rest of the country, but are you still just kind of going through the, bigger, faster, stronger? Are you trying to stay whippy, trying to stay athletic? Like, what does your development and training program look like during the colder months?
Yeah, so I'm still trying to stay athletic on the mound. I think that's big for me. Just being athletic on there on the mound. But I'm also trying to put on some weight, you know what I mean? But it's like the good weight, because I see guys going 400, 500 pounds, and that's not how I train. I train, I'll go maybe 200 pounds, but do multiple reps of it, multiple sets of it. And that's just how I train, and I stayed loose, with my arm and all that. And I always do like agility. So if I either get on the ladder or do some stuff like that, I'm always just trying to stay as athletic as possible. And I have a shortstop background, so that's helped me a lot with my pitching.
When did you? I know this is tough for a lot of people to admit, but when did you give up the dream of being a shortstop, being a hitter? Because once you start throwing 96, it's over.
Yeah. So my last high school spring was my last time touching a bat, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't even miss it. Like, people would think I miss it, but just pitching, it's just like you're controlling the whole game. So it was just a great decision for me and my family, and I just felt perfectly fine with it.
Well, let's talk about controlling the whole game. So this summer, I mean, you had a big summer. We already talked about it, but was there a highlight? Was there a specific at bat or a specific highlight that stands out for you?
Probably against East Coast Pro against Ty Pete. I
Mm.
think I threw him about 7 fastballs and like 5 of them were 98. And I was looking up on the scoreboard because I had to. Like it was just I just had to look up, and I was looking up, and I kept seeing 98, 98, and I was like, dang, I'm really sitting 98 right now. So it was pretty impressive. And then I think I struck him out with a 97 on the outside corner.
I mean, you've already hit 98. Do you put a ceiling on yourself? Do you see yourself throwing triple digits this year, or are you just kind of seeing where it goes?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely see myself throwing triple digits, but I don't want to force it. You know what I mean? I just don't want to go up there and do what I did this summer and just dominate and throw strikes and just throw all my pitches. So I mean, if I get 100, I do. If I don't. Then that doesn't really matter to me. I just want to go up there and throw strikes.
For sure. Digging in a little deeper on the deeper side of the game, deeper side of pitching, we're really into metrics and data. I'm wondering, do you pay attention to spin? Do you pay attention to movement profiles, or are you just kind of out there letting it rip?
I mean, this summer I was kind of into the spin rate a little bit on my slider, but I mean, I was just kind of out there just having fun and just throwing the pitch. And I seen some guys had 3,000 RPM, and my sliders have 3,000 RPM. It's like 2,500, but I felt like it still does the job that I wanted to do. So I mean, the spin rate for me is not really big.
I'll tell you what, Charlie, anytime you can throw 98, I don't really think it matters what your slider spin
Yeah,
rate is going to be,
yeah,
at least at the level that you're at right now. That's
yeah.
for sure. Central Florida. So you commit to Central Florida. You guys, you're primed to head there in July, August. If you don't get selected in the draft, what was it about Central Florida that really turned you on?
I mean, it was just the coaching, the academics. I mean, just all about it was great, and it's right here, 45 minutes from my house. It's a very big campus, I'll tell you that. But I mean, it was just beautiful. I mean, they're gonna be in the Big 12 conference next year, so it was just great. The coaches, they loved me ever since I got there, and I talked to the guys when I went on my unofficial visit, and they treated me as if I was already their teammate. So it was definitely stood out.
Nice. One question I like to ask, especially for these high school players, if you do get drafted in July, is there anything specific that you're looking for from your future employer, your future big league organization, like in terms of how to take care of you, how to train you? Like, what sort of environment are you looking for?
I mean, I just want tough coaching. I mean, all my life I've grown up with tough, like hard coaches. I mean, I know there's some coaches that they kind of go soft on guys, but that's not really me. I like hard coaching. I like being pushed to my limit. So I feel like if I do end up in a professional organization, that's definitely what I want. What I want is hard coaching all the time.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah,
Not afraid to shy away from the hard coaching, the
not at all.
tough, tough lessons. How about this? So you've gone through a million Zoom interviews, I'm assuming, with
Yeah.
different teams right now. It's the weirdest question you've had so far.
Uh, I don't think I've had any weird ones. I mean, there were some where they asked if I got arrested or something, if I've been involved with the police or if I had kids or something. But I guess that's just what they have to ask. That was probably
Hmm.
the weirdest ones though.
Is it kind of surreal having those types of conversations right now?
It's. I mean, looking back at it, I mean, I didn't think I'd be here talking to those guys. I mean, because like I said, I was a little bit behind last summer, so if I was to look a year ahead, I wouldn't see myself in the position that I am now, and I just thank God for it.
Yeah, right. Well, that's kind of the last question that I have for you before we go into kind of those questions out of left field. You've really burst onto the scene this summer. I mean, it's been a rocket ship 9 months for you.
As
How
yeah.
gratifying is it for you to see your name on Prospects Live, Baseball America, MLB Pipeline, these boards that you kind of grow up reading?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a blessing, like I said, from above, and I mean, I'm just seeing all my hard work that I put in, paying off. Because I mean, if with God's favor, I can be the first professional athlete in my family, and that's what I want to do. That's the goal. So I mean, it's definitely great to see my name up there. I know my family's proud of me, my brother's proud of me, everyone's proud of me. So it's definitely a blessing.
I like it. All right, so this summer you went all over the country. You played in a million showcases,
Yeah,
tournaments. Best bite of food, best grub you had all summer. Where was it?
that's a tough one. Probably PGL American. We had some. There was some spaghetti there, and it was fire. I'm not gonna lie. It was some good spaghetti. Like we would think like that because we're in the hotel or whatever. It wasn't gonna be good, but it was some good spaghetti that we had.
Best gear you got, was that also PGL American?
Best gear PGL American, 100%. We got so much stuff. I walked into my room and there was just the whole bed covered in gear, and it was crazy.
What was it like playing at these different big league ballparks this past summer? Is that dream come true? And was there a ballpark that stood out?
Yeah, definitely a dream come true. I mean, playing in Dodger Stadium, it's a historic stadium. You know, we played at Kauffman Stadium. You know, I played at Chase Field. So I mean, I played at Tropicana as well. So I mean, all those fields, you know, they're beautiful fields. But the field that stood out to me was probably Chase Field. You know, we're playing in the dome. It was closed, and it was just a beautiful field. And it was just that's the one that stood out to me. It was definitely beautiful.
All right, man. If you get drafted in July, what is the one message that you have for the fan base that might be rooting for Charlie Soto?
You're gonna get the hardest work in the draft, and you're gonna get a guy who's gonna go out there and leave it all on the field. You're gonna get a guy who's gonna go out there and compete, and who's gonna want to win a World Series one day.
I like it. All right, last question. Always finish with this question. Give you as much time as you need. What is the one random fact that you know about anything on this planet that not a lot of other people know?
I actually read this yesterday. So, your head can turn 306 degrees before it pops off. I read this yesterday on Instagram. I'm not even joking. I was scrolling through Instagram and it came up. I was like, that's interesting.
Man, that is that's a brutal fact, bro.
Yeah, it's brutal, but it was cool.
That's like Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, yeah, it was definitely interesting. I was reading it and I was like, whoa, what?
That's I gotta admit, Charlie, that sometimes I'll say, oh, that top 10 facts. That's legitimately one of the top 5 most interesting facts I've heard on the show. And you're interview number 190. So
Wow.
top 5. That's a crazy fact.
Yeah,
Crazy
definitely
fact. Charlie Soto, Kissimmee, Florida, UCF commit. We'll see what happens, but I got a pretty good feeling you're going to hear your name called in July. And man, I'm excited to see what you bring to the field this spring.
Thank you. It was good. It was good being here. Thank you for having me.